Someone asked me the other day if I have a bucket list. You remember the movie where Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman go out to do the things they'd always dreamed of doing, but never had time until terminal illness suddenly turned their priorities upside down. I liked the movie. Many of the critics did not. But I think it takes a certain kind of genius to make death funny. It was a story that made the audience laugh and think. Too many Hollywood offerings do neither. Unlike Nicholson and Freeman, I've not been given a prognosis of terminal, but as more and more sand slips into the bottom of my hourglass, it is time, I suppose, to take a good look at unfinished business, unfulfilled dreams, unrealized goals. So prompted by my friend's question, I decided to create my own bucket list. Before I die, I would like to, number one, fly TWA, my teeny-weeny airplane, from Florida to the West Coast and back, maybe camping under the wing in a sleeping bag. It would be a low and slow trip, but at a mere 1,000 feet above the landscape, I'd see a rare panorama of America that some of my more adventurous pilot friends already have experienced. Two, I'd like to write another book. This one about my experiences in the cockpit. I've started it, but I've discovered that cramming 50 years of flying lore into a few hundred pages may be more challenging than sleeping under an airplane. Of course, I could shorten it by telling only stories that are true, but what self-respecting pilot would actually do that? Three, visit China. As a reporter, I've been privileged to see many parts of the world, but somehow missed China. Spending time in this strategically and economically important country definitely is something I'd like to do before hanging it all up. Number four, start a band. Mostly I play piano for my own amusement, but a few times I have had the honor of sitting in with some really cool groups like Jack Brokenshaw, Johnny Trudell, Doug Jacobs' Red Garter Band. Amazing how great musicians can make an average keyboard plunker like me sound almost good. I'm looking for a bass player, a guitarist, and a drummer if you happen to know any. No pay, but the hours will be great. And that's about it so far as personal achievements are concerned. There are other things I'd like to do, places I'd like to go, friends I'd like to see, but these are the four itches that need scratching enough to qualify for my official bucket list. Interestingly, the goals that are most important to me now aren't things that can be put on a list. They're qualities that are difficult to quantify, and I may never know during my lifetime if I've achieved them. In his book Halftime, Coach Bob Buford wrote that the first half of a person's life is about success, and the second half is about significance. Let's face it, I may never make that flight west, or finish my book. I may not visit China, or start a band. Life is what happens while we're making other plans. But if I don't complete my bucket list, no big deal. What matters most to me now is to believe I've made some little difference in this world, and that my children are happier and wiser because I was part of their lives, that I've been a caring husband and a contributing member of my community. To feel in my heart that I've given a little more to the world than I've taken from it, this trumps my list of unfulfilled aspirations. To be confident that despite my failures as a father, I did not fail to share with my children the one great secret of happiness. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. If I can be assured of these things, well, that list that I told you about, it's a mere drop in the bucket.